Education Station.
Oh my God, it looks so clear. I can't wait to shop.
I see a lot of things
Yes. Okay. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great.
Good. This is my pre-K teacher, Miss Jasmine.
Hey, Miss Jasmine.
How are you?
Oh my God.
I love it.
All aboard the Education Station. Great evening, great evening. So we're gonna take some time first to get everybody comfortable. I gotta get comfortable. I was sitting here, I was like, y'all, it's just this weekend I'm going to rearrange my office. That's gonna be goal number one. I gotta rearrange this office to get myself back comfortable to come back and talk to you on my podcast. I have missed you guys. I hope you miss me. I know my voice sounds raspy. This weather has not been my friend. Okay. So, first of all, I want to say great afternoon. If you're driving, if you're getting off of work, I know the feeling because I just got off of work as well. So, I know how that feels. So, but I want to thank you for tuning in. But our first thing, you always know what I want you to do. I want you to share. I want you to share this. I want you to get other people to come on in the room. If you haven't, tag a friend, tag someone, let them know, hey, the train lady is back and she's on a podcast tonight. Yes. So we got some things to talk about. Where have I been? What have I been doing? What am I up to? What is going on? Y'all want to get in my business because I'm finna get in your business. Yes, it's that type of conversation. Okay. So let's like, share, subscribe. Let's tell all our friends, come on in. Okay. So again, for y'all that do not know who I am, my name is LaShon Carter. I am the proud owner of Tiny Tigers Learning Center and the EDU station. So, and those are located in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But enough about me. We're going to talk about some few announcements that we're going to go through real quickly. So the EDU station is getting ready to celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Y'all, I need some clappers or something. I need something. I'm going to have to get my band back together. Woo! Okay, I'm be my own clapper. Wow, 1 year. Yeah, that's big. That's big for a lot of business. 1 year celebrating 1 year in business. And so with that, we are having our anniversary sale and our party on March the 22nd. And that is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will be sending out, look on our Facebook page, check your emails. If you would love to be a vendor, we will have vendor opportunities, spaces for you to come and be a vendor as well. Okay. So that's exciting. March 16th. I'm going to say this. March 16th, I am doing a free workshop that talks about business credit. Okay. We know the world, what's going on in the world right now. We ain't got to talk about it. We already know what's going on. But I always love talking about business credit, how to get funding, how to make sure that your business is set up to making sure that you get in those dollars, that you can get 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 150K. But a lot of people don't understand how do business credit work. So this free workshop will give you a few tips and everything else about business credit and how we can get you started on that journey. Okay. That is March 16th. That class will start at 5 p.m. So we'll be looking for more information on letsgoexpress.org. And y'all, I am not doing this right. So y'all got to excuse me. But I thank y'all for tuning in. So again, share it with your friends, talk to some neighbors, say, hey, come on in, because it's a good juicy story today. I probably should have named this one a good little different title, because then everybody be in here, because everybody like to be in everybody's business. So I want to talk today. I want to talk. So that was my few announcements. And then my last one, if you are a woman that would love to be on the podcast, we're celebrating women this month, Women in Business. That's our podcast episode. And I am so excited about our guest for our first guest for tonight. So, of course, y'all going to be waiting for it. But anywho, if you would like to be on our next episode for the Women in Business, or if you know someone that would love to come on to share their story and share what got them inspired to being in business and what are they doing right now, what are some things that they're working on or getting ready to produce, new products, anything like that, tell them to come see me. They can email us at the EDU station 423 at gmail.com. So that's the EDU station 423 at gmail.com. And you can also come in on here. Hey, I would love to be next on your episode. I would love to come join the podcast. We'll bring you on, okay? So I am so excited about this next person that I guest speaker for tonight, which is me. I know I am so excited. I don't need no hype man. I'm my own hype man, right? But I am so excited about talking to you guys tonight about my journey of how I have gotten started as an entrepreneur as I celebrate yesterday 10 years of being a full-time entrepreneur. So March 5th, 2015. Would that make 10 years? I think that makes 10 years. Yeah. 10 years of me being probably a little bit longer than that because I've been doing entrepreneur a little bit longer than that, if you know me from my Mary Kay days. But I have been an entrepreneur since then, been doing childcare. And a lot of you guys notice me from the childcare arena. I am still in childcare. I had somebody ask me, do you still own a daycare? I still own a daycare. So I got a special little gift for you tonight as well that we'll be talking about later on in the podcast. But I want to just introduce myself for those that do not know who I am. Again, my name is LaShon Carter. I was born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I went to Udowa High School. I'm a class of '06. Go Owls. I know I'm that silent person over there when everybody else be talking about the classes and what year they came out of and what school they came from. Yeah, I'm a Udowa Owl. Okay, so don't be putting that in the comments. So I went to Udowa and then I continued my education at Chattanooga State. There I received my social work degree. Then I went back to my criminal justice degree. And now I am attaining my associate's degree for early childhood education. I know, right? Education don't stop. So within that journey, I decided, and it wasn't, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it wasn't easy. I did run from childcare. I was working at childcare for approximately 8 years. I worked for a daycare center for 8.5 years. I always say 9 because you give it 9. I ain't going to do the 8.5 and some quarters. And gave my all. And I was like, it got to be something different. I decided that I didn't want to do childcare anymore. So I tried customer service. I worked at Convergence for a while. I gave that about, I want to say that was probably about a year, probably less than that. And I noticed customer service was not me. That wasn't something that I really enjoyed. And so once I realized that wasn't for me, I decided to go into merchandising. What is merchandising? Oh, I skipped the part, y'all. I also was a correctional officer. Let me not leave that out. Because sometimes people be like, where'd you work? I had a lot of jobs. I really did. I had a lot of jobs. But being a correction officer was one of my jobs I always wanted to do. I wanted to work in the juvenile court system. That's why I went and got my social work degree. But I ended up working at Silverdale. And so I was a correctional officer. I was the visitation lady. So a lot of people knew me as the visitation lady. I would come in and yeah, I make people laugh. Even though if they having a horrible day coming to visit their family member or anything like that, I still put a smile on their face at the end of the day. So anyway, I did that. And then I went into merchandising. And so I went into merchandising around about 2013 and really loved the job. And what I mean by merchandising is I worked for 7-Up. And so they really did not hire a lot of females, especially African American females, to do the job that I was doing. That job was more so for a man. Yes, I said it. There it is. It's out there on air. It was more so geared for a man. I went for the interview. They told me no. Oh, this is not the job for you. And I tell this story because a lot of times we get stuck on the no's. We get stuck when people tell us no in business. It's like when somebody tell us no, it's like, we got an attitude. That don't mean that it means give up. So I continued to pursue that job. I continued to call them. I did a follow-up. I did everything I needed to do. And finally, they gave me that job as a merchandiser. So I was a 7-Up merchandiser. I had 16 stores underneath me. And within them 16 stores, I still wasn't fulfilling my passion, but I was making money. I was paying my bills. I was good, and it was my own route, my own time. So I enjoyed that job at the time that I needed it. And all I could talk about was opening my own daycare. I read books. I was looking up other African Americans that open up daycares. I listened to YouTube channels. I even got inspired with even getting a business. I don't know if I even got it because I do want to show it to y'all if I find it when we do our commercial break, because I do a little commercial break. But if I find it, I'll show it to you guys. But I remember my first business planner that I bought. It was Tom Copeland. If my childcare people out there, they know who I'm talking about. Tom Copeland. And when he came out with his business plan manual, I bought it. I looked it up. I wanted to do it, but I wasn't really gonna really open up a daycare. I was just talking about it. That's all. I was just having a vision. Okay. So 2015, speed past 2015, I got some devastating news that I had 3 massive hernias that can literally take me out if I continue to doing this job. Now, remind you, 16 stores, I meet people all day long. And I used to say, I'm not a people person. That's a lie. I can talk to a fly on the wall. As long as they talk back to me, I probably talk to it too. But so getting that news and coming from I'm always having a job, I'm always working, I know how my bills was going to get paid, what I was going to do, how I was going to get done. It was very devastating. It was to the point to where I went into a great depression, and depression is real. Um, it got me to where I was thinking that I didn't have no purpose. I didn't have no drive. I didn't, this beautiful space that you see, I wasn't always just so happy. I was miserable. I was like, how can God snatch something from me that I was enjoying? I love that job. I love going to work. I love doing this. But again, God has always had a different plan for my life, and I always knew that this was just a stepping stone for something greater. So, with that being said, hopefully y'all can hear me. Comment below if you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me. Okay, now I can see y'all comments. Look, now I can see it. Hey, Miss Terry. She said, "Yay!" So, hey, Miss Terry, how you doing? Wait a moment, then try again. Okay. So, but yes, so with that being said, we do have our Jumpstart Your Child Care Success book, which is available. I'm gonna move this out the way, which is available, and I think we dropped the price down to $19.99. Did we drop it down to $19.99? I want to make sure, but yeah. So we're gonna put that on the screen and put that in there for you guys, so that way you can access this book yourself and be able to read a little bit more of my story. And she said, doing good. Access more of my story and be able to read it for yourself as well. But after all of that had happened, I do like to tell you that the struggle is real when you're trying to figure out the career choice. After getting that devastating news, I literally was sitting in my house and I was just literally like, I don't know what else to do. And I remember I was looking at something on TV, and God literally told me, hey, it's time to get up, shake, wake up. It's really time to create this vision. And I started literally, my vision board planning really started in 2015. That's why I'm so hype on vision board. I'm so hype on vision planning, just setting a plan, setting goals, because that day I was literally with my daughter, and she was just excited to have her mama back at home. She didn't understand. Mama wanted to be in her own little la la land, but she wanted to play hair. She wanted to play dress up. She wanted me to go into the Dora Explorer kitchen. And I could just really remember this whole day, her whole room, just playing out the whole day. And I remember I just started looking up Bible scriptures and taking that Bible scriptures and gluing them to a poster board, and just really trying to pump myself back up. And I know I have other business owners that have done that themselves, that you just got to find something that motivates you to get back into the grind of your day, of your business. What motivated you? What moved you to be like, yes, I want to start this business. Yes, I want to get into this business. I have a purpose of why I started this business. So a couple of days later, now I did this vision board right along the side with my daughter. Now she was doing an art activity with some Cheerios, gluing some ABCs, and I was trying to look for that picture so that way I can show it to y'all, because I still got the picture. She didn't know mama over here in her own little depressed state, trying to glue these little Bible verses on this poster board to help me, encourage me, motivate me, and to get me back up to doing what I do. on the side of, I still was doing Mary Kay. So I still had my customers. I still was doing facials and going out, doing what I need to do to make end meet to provide for my family as well. So I get a knock on my door in February. The same, it was like a couple of weeks after I did the vision board and everything else. And the one of my great parents, we still friends to this day, came knocking on my door and told me that hey, she needed somebody to watch her baby while she go to an interview. I said, okay. Randomly, I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch them. So I did. I watched the kids. And I literally, all child care experience went out my head, y'all. It's just like when you've been trained to do CPR, honey, and you like when it happened, everything lose your mind. You like, okay, wait a minute, how many compressions? Wait a minute, two breaths, three breaths, two breaths. Everything just start because it's really like your adrenaline just start happening, right? So anyway, I was like, this is really happening. My daughter was just deciding that she got a playmate, but not knowing that she had two kids. She said, hey, the kid, right? I thought she said a kid, but no, she was saying her kids. So she brought her lovely babies into my home. And so that day, I did not know that was actually God showing me the sign that, hey, you're getting ready to start this daycare journey. So I started that daycare journey on March 5th of 2015. So I sped past a couple other things because she did get the job and she needed a sitter. She needed somebody to watch her kids. And she said, I don't trust a lot of people, but I trust you. And I know you'll do good by my babies. You raised my one child just by working. Your work ethic, and I made this post today. Your work ethic gotta show of what you want to be paid. And so I was like, when she paid me for the first time, I was like, I can make this amount of money every single day. And so again, not coming from anybody that told me how to run a daycare center, not to no one sitting me down and saying this how much money you can make at a daycare center. This is the business plan. This was me hunting and gathering information, putting two to two together to know where do I begin. Now I have the background of running a daycare center. I've been in a daycare center feel like my whole life. My aunt was in daycare, my mom was in daycare. So I don't seen a daycare center, okay? So I started inside our home. Me and my husband, we had a little townhome, and so we started there. I started there with only 3 kids, including my daughter, so they made 3 kids. So then when I told my family and friends, hey, I'm really thinking about opening up a daycare, they look like, oh, okay, you serious? Yes, I'm serious. I'm thinking about doing a daycare. I want to do a daycare in my home. Now it wasn't as big and popular as it is now. You have a lot of home daycares, a lot of child care centers. When I opened up at first, it wasn't as popular. Where everybody knew the child care networks, and you probably know Rainbow. You knew who was Lynn's Playpen. You knew a couple of other popular daycares that was around, but you didn't know a lot of home daycares. So anyway, so I decided. I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, "Okay, he was good. He was good for the journey. He was good on the road. He was like, yeah, we can do it." So I didn't want to be like, I wanted a house. Now I done lost the job. I done opened up a business. Now I'm talking about I want to buy a home. Now, Sean, you stretching it now. Wait a minute. So my great friend, Miss Brandy King, I done had on our podcast before, King's Elderberry. Shout out to her and her wonderful husband and her sons. I reached out to her and I was like, how did you buy your house? See, it's important to talk to people, understand their journey of how they got into where they was at. So I was like, how did you buy your house? Can you show me how to purchase our home? So she did. She got me in connection of some great people, what we needed to do. And so them 3 kids in my home, we didn't even buy the house yet. We ended up with 7 kids. I ended up with 7 kids by the second week of March. I ended up with 7 kids. Then it turned into 10 kids. So now this townhouse can't hold this many people. Now wait a minute. So we went ahead and we did I think it was C&I classes, the housing down in the housing downtown, and then we did some more seminars and some other things, home buyer seminars. And so you'll get told no a couple of times, and then finally you just have to wait on that yes. So we got our yes, and we was able to purchase our first time home. And so my first time home turned into my home daycare. The front part where I'm sitting at now was my home daycare. And the vision that I had of what my home daycare looked like was exactly what I got. So we ended up moving in. That was April of 2015. We moved in. And so when we moved here on the other side of town, I ended up moving up to about I think we ended up getting about 16 kids by then. So I ended up having my god kids helping me, and my son and my daughter and my niece helping me run my child care center, because I was like, this is a lot. Wait a minute, all these kids coming at once. Because again, I didn't know anything. I knew about state licensing. I knew because when I worked in daycare, we knew about state licensing. We knew about everything else. But again, when you don't know, you don't know. You just go with what you're going. So I started doing some more research. I went to my first child care conference. That was, I think that was in 2015. I went to my first child care, no, 2016. I think it was in 2015, 2016. It was one of them years. And I enjoyed myself. I got to meet other entrepreneurs. And I'm talking about this because a lot of times the reason why our business do not grow is because we do not go out and meet other people. We just stay in our own little circle. We need to learn to go mix and mingle and talk to other people and see what's out there. You're not the only ones struggling with finding kids or learning how to enroll properly or marketing better or how to set up your emails or hey, how do you deal with biters, in your daycare. So just being around other entrepreneurs was just an eye opener. And I don't meet a stranger. So at that conference, I met Frances Davis, who's been like my ride or die, one of my closest child care sister friends. I always been able to depend on her. I always bounce ideas, and literally we connected that day just in the lobby. And I don't even know what I was down there doing, y'all. That was the biggest problem. I didn't even know what I was down there doing. And they ran out of rooms. And I said, well, I got a room. You can come stay with me. Yeah, my mama done taught me better than just letting strangers sleep in the room with me. But I didn't think she was no stranger. She had her kids and she was there. And I was like, nah, my family raised me better than we ain't gonna let nobody live on the street. You can come in with me. So we end up just sitting up talking about childcare, just learning about childcare from her wisdom. She helping me grow my business. I told her my dreams of opening up a childcare center. I said I see bigger for me. This and then I was excited because I was potentially looking at a new building. When I get back, I had already signed the lease, and then I'd be moving in. I was really excited, and so then I got to meet Miss, we call her Mother Cheryl. Then I got to meet Lisa. Then I got to meet, it was a whole bunch of people I met at this conference, y'all. It was a wonderful conference. So we've been connected since then. And I want to say that was 2015. So after the whole conference, I got back. I was on a different type of high. So when you go on to like different workshops, different conferences, that's why I do a lot of workshops. That's because you meet people, you get the network. Okay. When you go to workshops, you don't go with a goal to meet somebody new. Don't sit by your friend that you already know. Go sit by somebody different. Don't tell your friend come sit on this side and you sit by that person. Okay. So, and y'all got to excuse me. It got a little chilly in here. It's cold. So I got to turn the heat. So I then went back from the conference. I'm coming back. I was excited. I was telling my husband about it. I was like, yeah, we're going to end up getting this center. I want to be able to do this. And so I'm going to pause right there, because before I got the center, I did a vision board. And inside my home daycare, all my home daycare parents remember, and I'm looking at this while, because I remember my bulletin board used to be on this side, and then I had my vision board up there. I had all my classrooms set. Every classroom I had labeled the baby clubs, jumping toddlers, leaping jaguars, roaring tigers. I had my staff break room. I had my office, my kitchen. Everything was laid out of how I envisioned the childcare center that I was opening. And I tell everybody it's important to make a vision plan, make your vision board, plan it out. Even if you don't want to do a board, just write it out on paper. Write it out. Write out your goals. Write out what you really, really see yourself doing and how you vision yourself. God might deal with you in a different way, but I know when I close these beautiful eyes of mine, I see different things. And I'm like, okay, God, is that your way of telling me that I'm going to get ready to go here, here, and here? Yes. So I get up and I start writing. I put it in my phone. Everybody got these nice little cute little phones. Put it in your phone, okay? So, so then when I got back, I got some devastating news that, hey, we decided to pass up on you and went to somebody else because they was ready to move in now, and we couldn't wait on you no longer. And even though I signed the lease and everything else, I was devastated. I had literally said I gave up looking at daycares. I was like, maybe Chattanooga just not it. Maybe I just need to wait another year. Boom, boom. Then I get a call from a great friend of mine, and everybody know Mr. Gerald Mason. I called him. They don't like my kin people. Called him. I said, hey, he called me. He said, hey, you still interested in a daycare? I said, I am. And so the journey started then. I opened up Tiny Tigers Learning Center. Once I opened up Tiny Tigers Learning Center, did I have some downfalls? I did. That's why I said you want to get in my business a little bit tonight. I did have some downfalls. I had some money issues. I had some employee issues. I had some issues with myself that I had to work out in between myself. Like literally, I don't claim to be the best boss. I don't claim to be the best business, do the best business practice. I'm not that. I'm still learning. Being in business this long is a blessing, but you still have room to grow. And always be willing to accept that, hey, I still got room to grow. If you think you in business, you know everything, then you're not ready to go to that next level. I know it's more in me to learn, even from childcare. So I say that because a lot of people, they call, they text, they say, hey, Miss Carter, I need your advice. I need help on this. I need help on that. I'm always eager to jump in and help everyone. But like I told them, I said, I'm a student still too. I still learn and gather and learning new things and new tricks and trade as well. So once I opened up Tiny Tigers, I got in, and I tell anybody, any entrepreneur right now, that if you're looking at a building, that you are looking, one advice I would give you: always just stay motivated, stay encouraged, even if you get that no. I got told no 9 times, 9 times. I even went to my grandparents asking them, hey, well, what if you co-sign on a property for me? Oh no. I was like, my own family told me no. But like I told my husband, I was so thankful for my own family telling me no, because I can tell you, I'm the rash to riches story for real, for real, for real. Me and my husband, the rash to riches story for real. And I say that just to let you know, baby, no one but God gave me the grace to keep going. After many things that have happened to me in business, many people told me no, slam doors, slam windows, whatever you want to say, told me no. No, your services, no, we can't offer you a loan. No, we can't give you that. No, you don't have the credit. No, you don't have this. No, you need this. No, you need that. You get told no a couple of times, a lot of people, they just go down. It's a bar. They just keep going down, down, down. Sooner or later, you just be what? You shut yourself off and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't think this business is going to work. I don't want to do it, right? You don't want to open up the doors. Well, if you know the story of the little engine that could, I'm that little engine that could, and I'm going to do it. I think I can. I think I can, and I'm going to do it, right? So I got to Smart Break, and I always highlight them because I thank Mr. Travis for being honest with me that day and really telling me the reason why the banks are telling me no, the reason why. And see, sometimes we be quick to be like, we cut people off, or we don't want to, we interrupt their time to mentor us, to tell us something that God wants us to hear. And he said, well, let me show you what you need to gather up. And he said, you don't need this type of loan. This is the type of loan you need. He got me in contact with some wonderful people. They're no longer in business anymore. What they called, what is that called now? It was Bright Bridge for women, but they're not underneath Bright Bridge anymore. So it's called some Hub Zone or something else. Come back to me and I'll probably remember in about 10 more minutes. But he got me connected with Bright Bridge for women, and they was looking for entrepreneurs like me, African American, that were getting ready to start a business, and they need help with developing a business plan, this and that, and going to classes. So I end up going down there on Chestnut downtown, sitting in classes, and I was still running my home daycare. I had a helper on the side to help me with running my home daycare. And then I would go down to Chestnut, sit in the classes, getting my certifications in this, getting my certifications in that. I talked to Miss Jackie. That's one of another person that's wonderful that talks to you about grants. Miss Linda Bullock. If she's on here, she'll tell you I met her for the first time. But it was a weird connection how we met. It was like, I was like, hey, I was supposed to do that. She was like, hold on, let me see who I can connect. And so after the bank, I met up with them and I got qualified for a loan to open up my business. And so again, you might get qualified for a loan, but do you know the proper way of using that money? So I didn't know that I had to have all these things, cross my eyes, connect the T's and everything else, right? All right. So anyway, got the loan, and I opened up the doors in 2017. Well, I also got an eviction notice on my birthday of January of 2017. Yeah. See, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that your face dropped in, right? Pick it up. They don't tell you that hey, I give you the loan, and my landlord started tripping on me. Started acting like, hey, this wasn't working. And with the Bright Bridge loan, I didn't read my contract. I didn't know that, hey, she was breaching out of her contract because this what she said she was gonna do, and this is what you agreed to do. So we went to court. We was in court for about a year and a half. And it wasn't fun. It was very dreadful. And I shout out Chevy McKnight. For carrying me through that way, because she was like, you want to open up your doors. She wasn't even my childcare coach or nothing. We just connected again. She was a great mentor. She would call and check on me here and there and just say, hey, how's everything going, LaShon? How's, because I would call and check on everybody else, but then I'm like, well, my cup poured into too, right? So I remember a day I walked into the building and I was like, this could be the last day of me having this childcare. Like, this is all I wanted. This is all I dreamed about, was opening up my doors of my childcare. And I got my license. I got my license January the 17th, 2017. My opening date was February the 7th, 2017. My grandmother's birthday. I remember it because I told my grandma, I said, you can come down into the daycare. I'm going to open up my daycare. I'm going to open up my daycare on your birthday. And so when I got the news from the court that, hey, how many kids you had? At the time, I had 39 kids at my home daycare, but only 7 of them went with me to my center. So I told the judge, I got 7 kids, but we haven't built the enrollment just yet at Tiny Tigers Learning Center. He was like, well, we can't remove them kids out your care because they already at the center. I was like, yes, sir. So at that time, I haven't even hired staff yet. My first staff member, which was Miss Amy Henley, came, and I remember her pulling up in a cab, came with her son to sign up to come and work for me. And she said, I don't have no daycare experience. I said, well, long as you can learn, honey, come on, we gotta get some bodies in here. We gotta get some, at the time I was saying bodies. We need to get some bodies in here, okay? And so I remember her coming in, signing up, getting a job, and February 21st was her anniversary date. And after that, we was getting kids in left and right. By March, I was like the 3rd week of March, we ended up with 58 students. I would say it was before the 3rd week of March. I want to say it was like the 2nd week of March. We had 58 students. Now I was running first and second shift at the time. And see, a lot of times I canceled my second shift years ago, but we ain't gonna go into all that. But I had first and second shift. So that long process of dragging it out and everything else, see, they don't tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to childcare. Because some days you can run in there and it just be a good day, and then some days it could be somebody flip the light switch. What is really going on? Am I being punked today? But in general, with running a business, it's not always good days. It ain't. That's why I gotta stay encouraged. I gotta stay motivated. I gotta stay uplifted. I gotta keep the tune in my head that, hey, it can happen, it will happen, but we're gonna continue to pray and ask God and trust God that He's gonna make a way for us. Okay. So after that, we did continue to stay in our building thanks to our new landlord that we have. End up purchasing the building. I stayed in my building, and I'm still in my building. For those that wanted to know, I'm still in my building. And so during the pandemic, we end up hitting before the pandemic, we had hit a crisis in my building that led to a couple of other hiccups financially and some other things that business owners don't talk about. That's why it's important to have a bookkeeper, a CPA, to keep your books on track. And I didn't have neither one of them running the business. And I talk to entrepreneurs, and they be like, "What's a CPA? What's a bookkeeper? Why you gotta have both? What is that? Why you gotta do that?" That's why you gotta be in classes. That's why you gotta be in workshops. So I end up hiring me a bookkeeper. I end up hiring me a CPA to help me untangle all this mess I was in. It was just like a ball of mess. And so I was I want to say it was like $149,000, probably a little bit more than that. Probably a little off today, but of debt. And so I was like, I remember Miss Tori telling me, she said, we're going to get this all cleared. We're going to get this all cleared. She said, I need you to say this with me. And I was looking like, I'm in the phone like, we're going to get this all cleared. Yep. We're going to get this all cleared. But I had to really, when she was saying it, she said, you got to believe that you're going to get this debt all clear. It's going to be clear. God is going to cancel all your debt. And so Each month we were just checking off each debt. What was paid, what was going, what was coming out, what was doing. Not knowing I wasn't charging enough in childcare. I wasn't even putting myself on payroll. And I know it's some entrepreneurs out there that's like, hey, I'm not even getting paid for my business yet. I'm not even on a payroll. You didn't hire you a bookkeeper. I'm just gonna tell you that. But I seriously, I was like, something got to change. I was depressed. I was mad. I was angry all the time. I was upset at a lot of things. I would be, what ticks me off, I was just ticked. I was just irritated. I didn't want to be bothered, you know. And it was all because I had it was untangled. And these things need to be untangled in your life. So anyway, the pandemic hit, and everybody, some people's like, oh, the pandemic. I would tell you, for me as a business owner, the pandemic was the best thing for me, because it really slowed me down. It really helped me start organizing my business. It really made me sit down and really gather my thoughts, look at my purpose, look at my mission, look at the vision a little bit different. We stayed open during the pandemic. Did I lose some workers? I did. I lost some workers, but I gained some new workers. I gained some new parents. I gained a whole new appreciation to childcare. I gave a whole new thought and process to how to run your business successfully by hiring me a mentor, hiring me a coach, by getting me a financial coach, having a budget, having a plan, knowing how to really do grants and talk about proposals and start collaborating more. So the pandemic taught me a lot, okay? Not only that, I end up birthing out another baby. Now, I ain't talking about no children. I still got two, okay? I still got two kids, okay? I still got two kids. Don't worry, two kids. I'm talking about the EDU station. And so I'm getting ready to wrap this up pretty soon, but because that'll be my hour. But the EDU station got birthed. So of course, y'all know we went through a name change. And I laugh because I'm like, God, you always got me. It's like I'm always sometimes feel like I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I'm like, God, why am I fighting? What am I fighting for? But it's not a fight. He know that I can deal with it. He know that anything anybody bring my way, any challenge, any clap back, anything. Of course, we deal with PR, we deal with parents upset, we deal with staff upset, and that's just the game of life. You can't please them all. And I had to learn it. You can't please everybody. Not everybody gonna like how you run a business. You're not gonna be like Sally down the road, and you ain't gonna be like Joe down the road. You run your business the way you feel like you can run it. Don't change your policy because they want the policy like they want it, because it makes it feel for them. You have your policies the way you want to have it, because that's how you want to run your business. Okay. And I had to learn it. I couldn't be a people pleaser. I couldn't always agree with, oh, yeah, the customer is always right. Not all the time. Okay. And I'm here to say it. If you don't like it, oh, well. I'm here to say it. Not all the time. Okay. Now, some things we can work through. Some things we can talk through. A lot of things I can sit down and understand your point. You understand my point. We come loud. But that was a wake up call. When I opened up the EDU station, it was called the Learning Express. Thank God for my sister Brandy, my friend Brandy McQueen. I was getting ready to go to another child care event. As y'all know, I love to travel. That was been my whole life dream. I wanted to travel. I want to just see the world. I want to just travel. Okay. I was getting off my plane, just turned my phone on, was getting ready to call my husband and say, hey, I landed in Vegas and da da da. And I was just getting boom, boom, boom. I was like, hold on, my attorney calling me. Let me call. What do she want? I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, you got to take down everything that the Learning Express is on. You got to take down your label. You got to take this down. You got to take down your billboards. At the time, we had 4 billboards just around Chattanooga. And you got to be careful. You got to do your homework. You got to do your trademark. You got to do a lot of things. And I didn't do my homework. I was just excited. I was excited to birth this new baby out. And so I had to change the name. I had to go through a name change. That's how we end up, my husband, my mother, and my bookkeeper, my friend. I don't call him my bookkeeper. I call him my friend. My virtual assistant. We were sitting there. I'm crying, snot going everywhere. Stop. I can't believe this. I ain't done nothing wrong. They this and that. I'm just upset. They letting me vent. As I'm venting, they coming up with names. And then I was like, no, they don't sound right. Nope, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. And I sitting there, and I remember we was like, well, let's just abbreviate it. So a lot of people always ask me, where did I come up with my daycare name? Where did I come up with my business name for the EDU station. Well, I'm gonna start with the EDU station. The EDU station is short for education. So we couldn't use education all the way because it's already trademarked. So we said the EDU station. And so I love trains. I have always loved trains. I like going on a train ride. I love trains. So that's the train symbol because I like trains. So then the kids that's around it is my son, my daughter, my nephews, and my god kids and my nieces. Okay. My son is the engineer. He does all y'all and y'all gonna meet the team of the EDU station because it ain't just me. I wouldn't be able to run that operation without their help. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things without their help. So you're gonna be able to meet the team of Tiny Tigers and the EDU station one day. Okay. But my daughter, she's the brain. She really is creative. I the reason why we came up with this whole logic and whole thing was it started with her and my great niece sitting in my daycare living room, as I say, my living room, and they was coloring, doing worksheets during the pandemic. And I was like, I got tired of going buying worksheets, so I started creating my own workbooks. And so they started doing my own workbooks, and then I started selling them on Facebook. Literally, all I did, I had a ugly little phone, and I took pictures from it, and I posted on Facebook, and I think I got orders from that. Then I started making educational binders. I was shipping them off. People would meet me at my daycare center to pick up their workbooks, their binders, and then it just started from there. It grew, okay. And so, real quickly before we get ready to end this live, Tiny Tigers was my nickname is Tiny. Everybody, if you call me Tiny, it's because we went to high school together, went to middle school, high school together. Uh, and my great grandmother used to call me Tiger. Don't mess with the tiger because once you poke that tiger, it's hard to put that tiger in the cage. So don't upset the tiger. So I put them together and made Tiny Tigers. And that's how I came up with these names. It wasn't nothing that I was Googling and searching. Besides the EDU station, we really literally we just put something together and in the nick of the time to hurry up and just please the other attorneys on the other side so they wouldn't sue us a lawsuit or anything like that. So before I wrap up this live, I wanted to give a word of encouragement to all my women that's in business and any men that's in business as well. I don't want to leave y'all out. I will say continue to push. Pray until something happens. Don't worry about the circles. Don't worry at all. Don't be doubtful. Continue to push. It was many days that people don't see the ugly tears. They don't see the stress out moments. They don't see the days that, hold on, now this heat done got heating. Hold on, y'all. When I turned that heater on, it got heating. They don't see the days that you about to pull your hair out, that you panicking about the insurance, you're panicking about the bills. Hey, Miss Kathy. They don't see the days that you are upset, miserable, um, just need a woo-saw moment. They don't see all that. They see what you post on Facebook. And that's why I was talking to a business associate of mine not too long ago. And I said, I can hire somebody to do my podcast and edit my podcast. I said, but I don't want to edit. I want the raw footage. I don't want nobody to come to me. You got to be all glammed up and you got to have a glam team. And I want the raw footage. I want y'all to be comfortable in your cars. I want you to be in your house. You cooking your kids dinner. You getting ready for bed. And you getting ready for some inspiration or some gossip. Look, not just playing, but some business education. You getting ready to level up to the next. You need something to motivate you, push you, because you had one of those days. Can I be honest? You had one of those weeks. I'm gonna put my hand up. One of those weeks that you just been like, is this really real? But when Friday come and you could just hold your head up high and say, God, but I made it. I made it through a whole week. It might have seemed like hell the whole other week, but you made it through this week. And I say that because every day is not a good day in business. I don't share a whole lot of what goes on behind the scenes, but I think that's what people need right now. They need the real. They don't need the fake people yelling at them, telling them why they should be doing this. No, they need to hear the guy's honest truth. It's not easy out here. Somebody posted a long time ago, they said being a business owner is ghetto. I agree. Sometimes it is ghetto. because we wear so many hats. And I want to tell you, I'm very proud of you. To my entrepreneurs, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you because you said yes, and you get up every single day and you created jobs for other people to be able to go to work and supply for their families. You said yes. You decided to take that vision that God downloaded in you, and you applied pressure. So continue to apply pressure this year. Now I'm not gonna end this. You welcome, Miss Terry. Continue to apply pressure. Even if you feel like, hey, I don't know if it's the circle I'm around. I don't know if it's the that I'm not getting enough support. You be your own motivator. Baby, I get up every morning, be my own motivator. If you knew the week I had just to get on this live, I got a double ear infection, but I'm still here. I've been dealing with a voice change because of the weather, but I'm still here. Because I tell people it's all about how bad you want it. How bad do you want to step up to the plate? You can say all day long, hey, I want to create a but you never do it. But then we get mad when somebody else do it. Well, where was you at? You never stepped to the plate. You never took the bat and hit that home run. You got to ask yourself, am I doing enough in my business? Now, I know I did the whole story telling about how I got started with my daycare and everything else, but this is the part that a lot of people need to hear. To wake up. In order for you to be successful, you got to put in the work. You can't think, hey, how you think Oprah Winfrey got to where she is? She ain't that because she laid across her bed and said, well, I'm just going to hire all the producers and they do it. No. She's seen the vision. She wanted to make sure everybody understand her vision. She wanted to make sure that everybody understand, hey, this is what it got to look like. This is the plan, and you got to work the plan. Everybody think, I'm going to open up a business. I'm going to get a business. I'm going to open up a business. Okay. Well, when them taxes come, let me hear you talk about your business, then. Because I was a little sad this week myself. I was like, oh, that's the taxes. Woo. And I'm just being honest with you guys. It's not every day, it's not a peachy day. But you got to stay motivated. You have to stay encouraged. Every day is not a sale day. We did the EDU station today. We closed. I don't even look at the numbers today. Because it's not about the numbers all the time. It's about, did you open? Long as you was open and people know, hey, my doors was open, they probably seen the open sign and said, okay, I'm gonna stop by there tomorrow. Dang, they was open there. I'm gonna try to drive back by there tomorrow. Long as you stay what? Open. I seen somebody's status on my Facebook page and say, how can you charge a deposit and you always late? That means them are not my type of clients. I don't want to go to that person. If they always late, I'm not going to them. I'm not going to them. I want people that's dependable, that's going to show up. If you show up your business an hour early, and I used to get to my business at about 5 a.m. 5 a.m., y'all. Woo. I'm getting back to it. I'm getting myself back together, getting back to it. This double ear infection and everything else, honey, threw me off my track this week. But I got there early because I like my praise and worship. I like my calm. I like my peace. I like to speak over my day. I like to command my day. I like to thank God for his glory. I like to thank him for what was about to happen into my life. The atmosphere changed when you walk into the room. The atmosphere shake when I sit there and I'm by myself. Sometimes my morning staff, she'll tell you, she say, sometimes I just let her just go through the building, praise and worship and crying and everything else. And I do. I'm not crying tears. I'm crying tears of joy because I remember that day when I said I don't want this business no more. When God, I said I surrender and I don't want to do it no more because I felt like it was too much. But God said, you my stronger soldier. I know you can take it. See, y'all weren't ready for that part, huh? See, we try to call on to friends. We try to call on to mama and daddy. We try to call on to everybody else. But the only person I had to call on to was God and say, help me. I'm losing staff members. I'm losing daycare parents. I'm losing my mind. What can I do? And he said, oh, I've been waiting on you to call my name. And I sat back and I said, I surrender. I surrender. I was tired of fighting. I said it this morning in my daycare. I said, look, either they work the vision or they got to get out the vision. Either you working the vision or you getting out the vision. Because see, I'm not going in. I'm not repeating my bad habits. I'm going in with good habits. So you gotta get up and claim your life. See, the devil mad at me because he trying to get me to my voice getting raspy because he know I'm speaking truth to y'all. He know the simple fact that somebody right now just been like, I'm tired. You either tired of working at 9 to 5, you either tired of going to that business that you feel like, hey, nobody is supporting you, you push the play button anyway. You go live anyway. You market your business anyway. You post your posts anyway. You go out to the community and talk to them anyway. You start joining in partnership anyway. I was so glad of the opportunity last night that I had at the Urban League, speaking to the youth. It just opened my eyes even brighter because I remember being in high school, being pregnant with my son. My son's birthday is today, turned 19. And I looked at him today and I was like, "Whoo, Jesus, I made it." But I just remember, I couldn't shed a tear because I was like, God was with me. See, people don't know the Tiny back in high school, baby. I was going through some things. I was doing too much, and I was feeling like I left back, but I was quiet with it. And when I got to the older me to get into what I'm doing, I was like, and I look at my son, I'm like, baby, we made it. Shoot. It's sacrifices. And see, if you're not ready to sacrifice, how can you call yourself a business owner if you don't sacrifice? Today was I sacrificed all this week. and I say that because a lot of times business owners look at me and be like, well, how can you be here? Why you ain't open up another daycare yet? What? Baby, I had the opportunity to open up 3-4 daycares. I'm glad with one Tiny Tigers right now. If God want me to have 4 or 5 of them, he know where I'm at. I ain't hard to find. But when I'm ready, I'm ready. But God calls me elsewhere. He calls me to do other things. And I'm glad about it. I am. And so when I did that, I spoke to the young people last night, and a lot of them came to my table and was talking to me because we was doing roundtable interviews. And these young kids had their resumes look better than these adult resumes. I tell you the truth that I look at on Indeed. I kid you not. I said, baby, you did all this? Did all this? She said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was like, wow. And we got to talking. They want to open up business. They looking at doing this. They going off to college. Bright young kids. They was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to bring this back to Chattanooga. I want to work on this. I want to do this. And then just listening to them. And I was just so inspired and motivated that a lot of them I already knew. 2 of them I already knew who I was. They was like, you did some business with my dad. You did some business with my mom. And I was like, cool. Y'all already know who I am. But it was just talking to them and letting them know who they are and whose they are, and they strengths, knowing their strengths. And you can't even get a lot of adults to know what is your strengths. What is your strengths? What do you know you are good in? What do you know you're weak in? See, when we start figuring that out, our business start moving. It started moving. It started making sense, okay? So I did. I had so much fun, and I thank them for the speaking opportunity, and just doing that, and then it opened up other doors, speaking engagements, and I have been enjoying just telling my story. That's why I decided to be the first one on the podcast because I was like, I'll be the first one on the podcast, to just introduce myself, opening up, and the reason why I do this. And I pray that God continue to give me scripts, continue to help other business owners, encourage them, motivate them. And I thank y'all for inboxing me when I do my car journey radio series, and y'all don't get offended by my music. I thank y'all because some days that's how I feel. I be a little hip hop, a little gangster, a little gospel. I'm sometimes a little ghetto gospel, whatever. But I thank y'all. I thank you for sending those words of encouragement of saying, hey, this really uplift my mood today. This really, thank you. She was like, I don't know how you be bouncing, what you be doing, but baby, you be grooving. I be in my own zone. So I'm just grateful that I'm able to make that impact on somebody. I'm just grateful that I'm able to just all I do is click play and whatever guy put through the speakers and say, hey, play this. Boom. I push play and I be excited, honey. That's a long journey. Sometimes I be traveling to the workplace. It's short. But my ultimate goal with this podcast is to inspire, uplift, encourage, motivate you, encourage you to do more, experience more, tell your story, be able to let others know that you exist, let others know what your product service is, let others know how you can help them. You got to provide a need. Your business should provide a need to whatever it is in that community. Like I said, I didn't talk much on the EDU station because we're gonna plan on doing a whole podcast on the EDU station. In the EDU station store. But I do want to say that was one of my reasons why I did the EDU station was because it was a need. We do not have an educational store and our community needs it. We need somewhere to where our kids can get workbooks and coloring books at an affordable rate. It's something somewhere where you can literally, and it provides back scholarships to the college fund. I thank people that purchase. When you purchase to me, maybe you purchasing to help send one of my kids off to college. College ain't cheap. Okay? Financial aid on the cover this much. But that's sending a kid off to college. That's helping the community. We're able to supply free books. We give out free books. We're gonna also put that on our website to let parents know, hey, this day you can come in and get books, free reading material. Be able to find some reading material so your little one can have something to read at night. Okay. A lot of people can't get to the library. They can, but if they can't, hey, we got free books. You can come in here and get a free book. Our next step with the EDU station is to offer tutoring service where people can come in from the community and get tutoring service, even our adults. We got people that need help with resumes, people that need help with business plans. We got a lady, she came in the other day wanting help with doing something on her computer. I said, honey, that's my husband forte. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And then I throw my phone every day. I be like, what is this phone doing? But so that's the need that the community that I've seen. I say the community needs a resource center. I was so focused on just providing for educators. I was like, no, I love my educators. Don't get me wrong, but we got our homeschool community. Hey, homeschool community. Hey, y'all. That needs this as well. So if you are not familiar with the Let's Go Express, go check out our website. There go my voice again. Go check out our website. Go visit it. Sign up for our email list. Check out we got some great deals, some discounts going on as well. Again, our book that I was talking about tonight is on sale right now, so you can go and look for this book. I think we only got a few more copies left. I'm not gonna joke to y'all. I'm not saying that just so y'all can go purchase it. Load it up for you guys right here. And so I did collaborate this book with some awesome childcare owners and coaches inside this book. I think my page started at and I plan on actually doing a read aloud on this coming up. Fast enrollment methods. That was my chapter. It started on page 46 in the book. Okay. So stay tuned for that. We will be doing a read aloud inside of this book. I just be going from chapter to chapter, just giving a tad bit of testimonies from my end. Because I even anybody that sign up for my child care coaching program that I offer, you get one of these free books anyway. You get this book just because it's that awesome. And so before we close out, I did want to shout out one of child care CPA, Miss Jones. I did get your book, lovely. I haven't dived in just yet, but I did get your book. She wrote a book. It's called 7-Step Profit Multiplier. Slash your taxes and accelerate growth. So we will be having, hopefully she'll be able to come onto the podcast, talk to us real soon. I have been seeing her around on my Facebook page. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna purchase her book. I was in the Black History Month. I think I went on the rant page and just started purchasing from different vendors and everything else. So I got her book. And I haven't dived into it just yet, but I definitely can't wait to have her on our podcast to talk more about it for y'all that's interested in about saving on your taxes, want to know more steps about growing your profits. You better tune in. So I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope I left you with some words of encouragement. A little bit more about myself. So that way you won't be guessing and trying to get information. I told you my business. Some of it anyway. But but yeah, so hopefully I said something that motivates you, encourage you, inspired you, got you even thinking about, hey, I want to looking at starting a business. Even if you're looking at starting a business, I do a free 45-minute consultation. You can just send me an inbox, and we can set that up. See the link to set that up. And so anybody that's just like, hey, this really inspired me to know more about you, the growth and development, because everybody has a story, but it's how you continue to scribe through that story. And I want you to realize that, how are you continuing to scribe through your journey? Like, sometimes we get on that roadblock and we just get pushed to the side, but today is the day that, hey, you heard it from me. If you ain't heard nobody else's story today, you heard my story. The struggle be real, but the faith is even bigger, okay? The trust in God is even bigger. And just knowing that you will and you can make it through anything. It may look like you defeated, but you're not. You're not defeated at all. Okay, so I want you to just stay encouraged. I want you to don't forget to share this with another entrepreneur. You can catch me on my Be About You Live. I will be back on there on Monday. We be on there Monday through Friday for inspiration, encouragement, and then we do a little mastermind as well. So go check us out on Be About Your Business on Facebook. But other than that, y'all have a wonderful, safe evening. And thank you again for tuning in. All aboard the Education Station. Have a blessed night. All aboard the Education Station.
Oh my God, it looks so clear. I can't